Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to make a new video for Glyph since the interface has been upgraded and there's a few new features and a few things have changed. So I'll just jump right in. I also wanted to mention, like I did on the first video, how to make a font sheet. Learned a few things here and there, but this one I made it in ChatGPT yesterday, and it came out pretty good. Everything was spaced out pretty well. Had all the characters, but the resolution wasn't super great. So what I found out was that if I use a vertical aspect ratio, it kind of will make it a little bit better. And also this one, I made it with Nano Banana, so you can kind of see like it's better resolution. It did have some issues though, like for instance the I and J were too close together earlier, so in Photoshop I pushed that aside just for this example, and I deleted, there was an extra in that it made. But other than that, it's pretty cool. I like it. So I want to just jump right in. So this is the new interface here, and it's got this welcome screen. Got a few tips and just like basics on how to do it. And then I've also got this new tip section here. So it's got technical tips and marketing tips. So if I just go to this one that I just made, kind of watch it go through here. I've also added import SVG and export, and what that'll do is that'll allow you to export all the glyphs once it's done as vector files, so you can re-import those. If you want to take it into Illustrator or another vector program, you can, and then re-import them again. The import and export JSON file are still there, and basically that kind of will set it up so that you can save your progress. So let's say you've done a bunch of labeling and it looks great and you want to work on the font later another day. That's probably the best way to do it, because that'll save all the label information that you've done, and any other changes that you've made. The SVG will just save the vectors. So you can kind of see as well, it's got a bit of a new style and look. It goes through and it extracts all the font. The accuracy of the labeling is improved quite a bit, but it does still have some errors that it makes. Like all of these right now look good except for the Q, didn't get that one. So that'll just save you time later on. And the other thing that it does is it'll automatically vectorize them, whereas before that was a manual process. If for some reason you're missing a glyph, like let's say you have ChatGPT or Nano Banana or ideogram, make a few more. Like let's say you want to do some ligatures or some symbols that weren't included, and you just want to basically say match this style but make these remaining characters, and then you want to add those in later, you can do that. And the way you do it is add glyph, or let's say for instance like this one, it didn't extract it right, so this question mark is missing the dot. That's something I'm working on still, but if that happens, you can add it. And the other thing is you can take a screenshot of it. So you just take a screenshot of it and then click add glyph, and the new feature will automatically vectorize it when you add it now. Okay, now it's done. And then like for instance this F, I'm just gonna go over the ways that it doesn't work perfectly, because I think that's important. In many ways, it's pretty great, but the G, for instance, on this one, it has this extra thing. So you can see it kind of smushes it down because the automatic feature sizes it into this area, but because of this unique kind of part, that needs to be adjusted. So the way you do that, just hit the visual scale up and then the vertical offset up. And, you can decide whether or not you want the bottom of the G to go past this area or not. And then I also want to mention that on the mobile version of the app, you can swipe right and left on these values and they'll change now. And on the desktop version, you can just click into the field and then up arrow and it'll adjust it that way. And you'll see it has a few missing ones here, and that's just because those haven't been labeled yet. So I'm gonna hit save. Let me check out that T. Yeah, see, this T is incorrectly labeled uppercase, so I'm just gonna change it here, and that automatically saves, which is a new feature. And then for the glyphs that come through that are kind of gibberish like this one, and so just down thumb that and that'll jump it into the unused low quality bin section. Okay, so for like this one, this is the euro symbol and it's not been labeled right, so just label that, and I think it's Option Shift 2 on a Mac. And usually, like the Mac, for instance, will have a keyboard viewer. I'm not sure about PC, but you can see what they are by kind of modifying it, holding Shift and Option, and it'll show you these different ones. And this one will need to be down. And I'm going to edit this F here by hitting the edit vector. And another new feature, which is like super important, is the delete feature. So you can click on it and hit delete now. And also, if you hit the space bar, you can change the position. And as well as now, you can grab these Bezier curves. Command Z also works. And you can also add points now. So that's all new. Check out this T. It's not looking great. And it just depends because, every font's slightly different. So it may think it needs to be in a certain space on one font, and it does, and then on another font, it needs to be in a different space, and it won't know that because it's using the original idea. Okay, so that looks pretty good. 2 S's, probably the font sheet had that. And to see that's kind of how it's done. And then once you're done, you just export your font sheet, and you can save your JSON, and you can come back to it later if you want to add more glyphs or work on the vectors later. That's how you do it.